pracharine nirvishesha shunyavadi paschatya deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna everyone. So let's go with the blessings of Srila Prabhupada. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. We'll see about chapter 2, the 2.1 to 11. Okay, so the Bhagavad Gita, the first module is chapter 1 to 6. So after 2 chapters, you will have open book assessment. Like a question will be given where you can look Bhagavad Gita and write, but then in your own words. Okay, so after 2 chapters, we'll give 1 open book assessment. Then after 4 chapters, there'll be 1 more. 4th chapter, 1 more assessment, open book. After 6 chapters, that is first module, you have closed book assessment and sloka memorization test. Okay, so we'll start with the chapter 2, sloka 1. Sanjay uvacha tam tata kripaya vishtam ashrupurna kulekshanam vishiddhantam idam vakyam uvacha Madhusudana. Sanjay said, seeing Arjuna full of compassion, his mind depressed, his eyes full of tears, Madhusudana, Krishna spoke the following words. Now, so from chapter 1, a quick recap, we saw how Arjuna was lamenting because of 5 reasons: sin, compassion, no enjoyment, family traditions, and indecision. Now, Krishna is going to speak to Arjuna, and Arjuna is going to surrender in this chapter. Now, why Krishna is called Madhusudana? You can raise your digital hand. Yes, Shreya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Madhusudana means Krishna is the killer of the demon Madhu, and similarly, Sanjay wants to express that Krishna wants to kill the demon inside, which is lamentation of Arjuna.
Of Arjuna, very good. So the demons are the demons are compared to doubts sometimes. Okay, so very good. So Madhusudana is killer of the demon Madhu. That's fine. So Arjuna is also having indecision. Now he is doubtful what to do, what not to do. So Krishna is saying, Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Madhusudana, because you killed the demon Madhu, and these doubts and indecisions, all these are demons in me. So please kill. How you killed Madhu demon, please kill the demon inside me. So that's why Madhusudana term is used. Okay, and why Prabhupada mentioned this example in the purport? Can you just, everyone should have your Bhagavad Gita book on your table. Now, why did Prabhupada say a man fallen in the ocean of nations cannot be saved simply by rescuing outward dress? Like if somebody is drowning in the ocean, just saving his outward dress will not help. So what comparison or analogy does Prabhupada mentions here? What is this ocean compared to, and what is this outward dress? Kishore Kumar Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. This is Prabhu, it is compared with the body and the soul.
Very good.
If Arjuna is thinking to save the body, he is not thinking to save the soul. That is the
very good. So the body is compared to the dress, right? Outward dress.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, very good. So the body is compared to the outward dress, and so similarly, Krishna Prabhupada says that we should not just save this outward dress. We should save the person who's drowning. So there's an example given. Okay, there's a person. He has a white T-shirt and a black coat. So the black coat is what? The white t-shirt is what? The two coverings of the soul. There's a white t-shirt and a black coat. So it's compared to what? What are the two dress we have? Yes, Charu Mataji.
The gross and the subtle body.
Which is gross?
The outer layer is the gross. And
very
the
good. The
inner
black
layer
coat or the outmost layer. And this gross body is made up of what? It's made up of
the elements, the 24 elements.
not 24, the 5. 24 elements is the material nature, the Mahatattva,
Okay.
but 5 elements, Panchabhutas, which is
Earth, water, fire, ether, and
air. Earth,
air.
water, fire, air, ether. And what is the white t-shirt inside?
That is a subtle body made
Which
of
is
mind,
made up of?
intelligence, and false ego.
Very good. Mind, intelligence, and false ego. So this is how our covering is. The soul, then you have a subtle body and a gross body. The subtle body is mind, intelligence, false ego, and the gross body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, ether. Okay, the Panchabhutas. So when somebody is dead, or in the sense when the soul leaves the body, now we know it's the soul and the soul gets transmigrated. So then whom does the body belongs to? Bhagavatam explains, does the body belongs to the parents who gave birth to it? Does the body belongs to the vultures who's going to eat it? Or some are buried. So does the body belong to the earth? Or does the body belong to the person who have died? Or does the body belong to fire because some are burned? Yes, Neeraja Mataji.
Krishna Mataji.
Very good. So Krishna decides who gives the body. Yes, Krishna decides which body we should get, but who gives it? Yes, Mataji. Krishna decides. Krishna is Aham Bija Pradapita. Right?
Yes. Our own behavior in the present Janma will be decided, Mataji. In the next Janma, which body we are going to get.
Yes.
Yes,
but who is giving? That's what I'm asking. Yes, Dinesh Prabhu.
Mataji, it is intense propensity at the time of death, leaving the body.
Very good.
And the past karmas.
Karmas, definitely the past karma, and then what we think at that time of death. Yet yam vapi smaran bhavam tejat ande kalaivaram. It also says antakalesya mame vasmaran muktva kalaivaram. Definitely, these are the factors which decides a body. But who is giving the body? That's my question. Yeah, Charu Mataji got it right. What is it, Mataji?
Prakriti.
Very good. The material nature. Yes. So material nature is compared to our mother. Krishna is the father, right? The material nature. Krishna sanctions. Krishna is Aham Bija Pradapita. He sanctions, or as Prabhu said, based on the karmas, based on your thought, like what you think at the time of death. Yes, and based on the material nature, Karanam Guna Sanka Asya. Because of all these, how we live this life. Now, because of all of these, our body is getting ready. Now, Krishna sanctions it. He's the authority. He's the seed giving father. But who gives the body? Who is the one who's getting impregnated with that bija? That's the mother, the material nature. She is compared to the mother, and she gives the body. So the Durga Devi, or the mother, the Mahamaya, she's the one who gives you the body. But Krishna sanctions, Krishna decides which body you'll get. So based on the guna which you associate with, if you associate in Sattva Guna, you'll definitely get a good body, human form, or might be go to heavenly planets or even liberation. If you go to Tamo Guna, you go to animal form of life. So based on the guna, based on the desires, you want to enjoy life, you want to have a lot of desires, material desires, definitely there's rebirth, and the body is given just like that, based on that, right? So yes. So, and also the thought, at the time of death. So it is said that our next body is getting prepared. So we should be ready. Like when we vacate this so-called temporary dress of this material body, our soul should go to the next body based on our karma. Some will get liberated, some will go to heavenly planets, hellish planets, take rebirth, whatever it is, the body is getting ready. So Prabhupada says this life is a preparation for the next janma, next life. But then Mayavadis and atheists, they don't believe in all this. Now they're like, wow, what do you say, so many janmas? This is it, this life, enjoy. But then we know those who are intelligent, they know they get ready for the next life. So outward dresses compared to the Vasamsa Jirnani Adavahaya, this body is compared to the dress. Once the old dress becomes old, we change it. So Madhusudana is significant in the first verse because Lord Krishna killed the demon Madhu, and now Arjuna wanted Krishna to kill the demon of misunderstanding which has overtaken him. So killing the demons means killing the doubts in us. Shri Bhagavan Kutastva Kashmalam Idam Vishame Samupastitam Anarya Jushtam Asvargyam Kirti Karamarjuna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, how have these impurities come upon you? They're not befitting a man who knows the value of life. They lead not to higher planets but to infamy. Why is Krishna called Bhagavan? Either you can put in the chat or you can raise a digital hand, and it's an interactive section. Everyone should interact, not only some few of the devotees are interacting. Or based on your interaction also you get your marks in Bhakti Shastri. So that's also one aspect of it. Yes, Sri Devi Mataji.
Yeah, he has all 6 opulences in full.
Yeah, Shreya Mataji, not 5, it's 6. Okay, 6 opulences. What are they?
Fame, strength.
All fame, all fame.
All fame, strength.
All strength.
Okay, all strength, all renunciation.
All renunciation.
All rich and
all rich. All knowledge, all beauty. Yes, very good. So all, okay, you should use the word all, because Krishna has all, everything. Nothing can attract Krishna. He has everything in him. Yes, that's why he's called Bhagavan. Okay. So it is said Ekala Ishvara Krishna Arasa Bhupritya. So he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is the Supreme Controller. And also Bhagavad Gita also says, Krishna says, Aham Bija Pradapita. He is the seed giving father. Aham Adirhi Devanam. He is the source of all the demigods. Aham Sarvasya Prabhuvo Matta Sarva Pravartade. He is the source of everything. So definitely Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the 3 faces, Vadanti Tat Tattvasvitas Tattvam Yajnanam Advayam Brahmedi, Paramatmedi, Bhagavani, the Shabdade. These 3 faces, what are they and how is it compared to the sun? Why is Krishna comparing, Prabhupada comparing that to the sun? Yes, Neeraja Mataji.
Mataji, the first stage is Brahman. Second one is Paramatma, who is residing in all the living entities' heart. And the third one is Bhagavana.
Okay. So, Shreya Mataji, how is Prabhupada comparing it to the sun? These 3 aspects.
Sun consists of sunshine, sun
Very
globe,
good.
and sunshine, sun disk, and sun globe.
Yes.
And sunshine is like believing in Brahman realization,
Yes.
effulgence, and that sun disk is compared as Paramatman realization, and sun globe as Bhagavan realization.
Yeah, with the sun god in it. The so Devil Mataji, which is Sudha Mataji, which is the highest of all 3?
Mataji, the sun planet is the highest. That is Bhagavan
aspect.
Bhagavan, yeah.
Bhagavan. Yes, Devil Mataji, why Bhagavan aspect is the highest? Why do you think?
Because there is a direct interaction, exchange of relationship.
Yes, very nice. So there's a direct interaction with the personality of Godhead, the person form. Yes, Priyadarshini Mataji, based on Satchidananda, which is the Satchidananda feature of the Lord in all the 3.
His personal form, Mataji.
That means the Bhagavan form. So Bhagavan form. Brahmedi is only Sat part, okay? Paramatma is Sat and Chit, and Bhagavan is Satchidananda. Very good. Yes.
Bliss. Yeah.
So, bliss. Because it's a person. He's a person and there is a personality. Then there is a direct relationship, as Mataji said, we can have different rasas with the Lord. And unless you have a person, there is no reciprocations, right? The relationship is very dry. How much can you love a doll or something? No, in that case, if it is a baby there, then it's reciprocation. When you look at the baby and smile, the baby smiles back and there's a reciprocation. But instead, if it's a doll who's not living. So when Mayavadi says that Lord doesn't have a form, it's all Mahaprabhu. What does Mahaprabhu says of Mayavadis? Does anyone know? Mahaprabhu calls the Mayavadi someone. What does he call them? No idea? Yes, Dinesh Prabhu.
Normally uses a very hard word for them. They labels them as rascals.
That is yes, that's Mudas, that's fine, but there's a specific word which he used.
Impersonalists, Mataji.
Yeah, impersonalists, but he calls them something. Puja Vrinda Devi Rasi Mataji.
I think it's Pakhandi.
Yeah, Pashandi, that's also a nice term. But he specifically says they are
Maya Parthas or Naradhamas, something.
Naradhamas, that's all okay. I'm looking for the specific word which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called them. Mithyachari, okay. Okay. Yeah, Anita Mataji. You know?
Kripana.
Kripana, that's also a nice term. Yes, Kripana, those who don't use this human form of life in the right way. Now, but then specifically Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls them Krishna Aparadi. Mayavadi, Krishna Aparadi. Why? Because Krishna has a beautiful form explained in Brahma Samhita. Venam Kanvanta Maravinda Dayala Daksham Barhavatam Shamashitam Buddha Sundarangam Kantarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shopam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Such a beautiful form, right? And even Bhagavatam explains Barhapidam Natavarapu Karnayo Karnikaram Vipradvasa Kanakakabisham Vaijayantim Chamala Randran Venora Sudaya Purayan Gopa Vrindair Vrindaranyam Sopataramanam Pravishat Gita Kirti. So such a beautiful form. Krishna has the three bended form, the Tripanga Lalita form, and then Mayavadis are saying he's not having a form, so they are Krishna Aparadi. They are doing aparad to Krishna. And he says Mayavadi Vashisunile Hoyesh Sarvanash. Don't hear from a Mayavadi, it's fully Nasha for you. First 3 years of your Krishna conscious life, or 4-5 years of your Krishna conscious life, never hear from a Mayavadi, because your philosophy should become strong always, and definitely you should hear from Prabhupada every day. So the three aspects, because Brahman, the impersonal form, is also Krishna's feature. Now, where does the universal form comes? Does it come in the Brahman aspect, Paramatma, or the Bhagavan aspect? The universal form. Where does it come? Which of these three categories does the universal form of the Lord come? Yes, Prabhu.
It is in the Bhagavan stage that he has everything.
Bhagavan is eternal Satchidananda form, and universal form is, universal form is a temporary form. It's not, even though it's transcendental, but it's not a form in the spiritual world. There is no universal form in the spiritual world. Krishna showed it only in the material world. Yes, Sudha Mataji?
Mataji, is it the Brahman form?
Yeah, it's the Brahman. Why?
Because it's full of effulgence, the Brahman, the people more want to merge in that.
But then, yeah, so a Brahman means the impersonal, right? So it said the universal form have millions of hands and legs. It said that it's almost kind of impersonal because it doesn't exist. The universal form doesn't exist in the spiritual world. It's just for temporarily Krishna showed the universal form to show others like how great he is, and to set a criteria in future when Arjuna asked, and also to Duryodhana he showed. So it's not the real form of the Lord. Bhagavan is the 200 form, Paramatma is the 400 form, but the million hands and legs of the universal form is compared to a Brahman aspect, which is like a kind of impersonal. It is not a real personal form of the Lord, and doesn't exist in the spiritual world, even though it's transcendental. Any form of the Lord is transcendental. Even if he comes as a pig, as Varahadev, he's transcendental, but it doesn't exist in the spiritual world. And even Paramatma doesn't exist in the spiritual world. Why? There's no Paramatma in our heart in the spiritual world. When we get liberation or moksha and we go back to Krishna's world. Why, Charu Mataji?
Mataji, based on my understanding, it is the plenary portion of the Lord which exists only in the material world.
Why? Yes, why? Why it's not existing in the spiritual world? That's my question. Yes,
because we can see God face to face. Is it like that?
That's the right answer. We can see him face to face. He's already there. Like, just imagine someone's husband is living somewhere abroad or something. So she has his photo in her home, and then always she looks at the photo and talks to him and all. But then when he comes in person to her home, she doesn't have to look at the photo. Even, right? She's seeing him face to face. Similarly, when you go to spiritual world, Krishna is there face to face with you, right? If you get Sarup, Salok, Samit, Mukti and all, Krishna is face to face. Then why do you need a Paramatma aspect of the localized form in your heart? Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishtam. Krishna is in a heart as Paramatma. So the Vishnu Puran says the 6 opulences of the Lord: Aishwarya Samagrasya Virasya Yashasasriyaha Jnana Vairagyaschaiva Sannam Bhaga Itingana. The Supreme Personality Godhead, who possesses all rich, all strength, all fame, all beauty, all knowledge, and all renunciation, is called Bhagavan. Yes, Deval Mataji, have a question?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna. So in Vaikuntha, the Vishnu form, the 400 form, so that is not the Paramatma form, that means?
The 400 is the Paramatma form, but in Vaikuntha also there is no Paramatma form in our heart. In our heart, I am saying. Paramatma form in our heart, because in Vaikuntha you can see the 400 form face to face, no?
Face to, yeah.
So even in Vaikuntha there is no Paramatma in our heart. In our heart,
in our heart. Okay.
Yes,
Now
in
I
our
got it.
heart.
Oh,
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
No Paramatma in our heart in the spiritual worlds, even if it's Vaikuntha or Goloka, because we see Krishna face to face with the Lord. Yes, Dinesh Prabhu.
What about soul, Mataji? Does soul remain in spiritual world? Super
Yeah,
soul is face to face.
Spirit soul is eternal, right? Spirit soul is eternal. So definitely, once we go out of this material body, we have a spiritual body. The soul will get a spiritual body, no? It will be spiritual. Okay. We can't see them, and we can't. What is the size of the soul? Does anyone know? Prabhu, you know?
Hare Krishna.
What is the size of the soul mentioned in the scriptures?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, you can say.
1/10 of the tip of a hair. 10,000 of the part of a tip of a hair.
Tip of a hair. Keshagra Shada. So that means you take the tip of the hair and you cut it to 10,000 times, and 1/10,000. You can't even see, right? So yeah, there is another aspect of discussion here. Can someone say about what happens in transplantation? Heart transplantation, I meant. So Krishna says that Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishtam, or Ishvara Sarva Buddhanam Bhutanam Hridesh Arjanatishtidi. I reside in everyone's heart. So if the soul resides in a heart, then what happens during a heart transplantation? Is Kishore Kumar Prabhu.
Mataji, temporarily that soul rests in some part of the body. And
okay,
when the transplant is completed, it comes back to its original position.
So what about how many souls are there then? What about the heart which is kept? Does it have a soul?
Actually, souls are, it is not one soul. In body, it is millions of souls it is available. But there. Only one soul is active.
Yes, but then when you keep the heart, I'm asking, there is already a soul in my heart and one more heart is being kept. No, this heart is taken. So as you said, the soul will go somewhere. But what about the soul in that heart, which is taken? The donor's heart.
That soul which is new soul, which is being transplanted, that soul is not having, that heart is not having soul.
Yes.
Because it is left in that body from where it is taken.
Yeah, so it's already gone. So we take the transplant once the heart, the brain death happens, or if there is a death happening. So that means the soul already left. Now that's just an organ, the myocardium, it's just an organ like a heart. And then when the transplantation takes place, what happens? As Prabhu said, the soul, which is in my heart now, it can shift towards between the eyebrows and all. So it can shift. And then the new heart is kept. And then the soul comes back and sits. Like, for example, I'm sitting in a chair and one of the legs of the chair is broken. Now I can't sit there anymore. So the carpenter comes and repairs the chair. So I can't sit on the chair when the carpenter is repairing. So I get up and go sit somewhere else. And the carpenter comes, repairs it, or he keeps another chair. And then he goes, then I come back and sit on that chair. So similarly, heart is just an organ. It's a place where the soul just rests for every time. But then when the transplantation takes place, as Prabhu said, the heart which is kept doesn't have a soul because it's already gone. And then this soul will move. And it is said that every atom of a body has a soul. So it's not like one soul in one body. There are millions of souls. Every atom, even an atom, Krishna is there as Paramatma. Even an atom has a soul. Otherwise, how is growth happening? So growth is there. But there's only one soul who's dominant, or one soul is conscious of this particular body. So understood? That is the soul which will go to the next body when there is transmigration. So we should understand that part. And Bhagavatam explains, Edecham sakalapum sa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyari Vaikulam Lokam Mridayandi Yuke Yuke. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is Swayam Bhagavan. The Shavatar Stotra by Jaydev Goswami says about Keshavadrida Meena Sharira, Keshavadrida Kurma Sharira, Keshavadrida Buddha Sharira, not Krishna. Keshava is Krishna who killed Keshi demon. So Keshavadrida means Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan. He's Avatari. Swayam Avatari. Okay. And different are all avatars. So what is the term Aryan? And mentioned by Srila Prabhupada in the purport. Can anyone say Aryan? Yes, Shreya Mataji. Who's an Aryan?
Arya means a Kshatriya Mataji. They are very heroic and very powerful.
Yes. So, like a Kshatriya, but something related to spiritual life. Yes, Charu Mataji.
They are like civilized person and they know the concept of the soul and and something. So they know what is its use of their place in the material world, and they know the concept of this spiritual world. They know more about the devotional service.
Yes. So that means someone who is spiritually enlightened, or somebody who knows about the Vedic culture and everything. Yes. So that's an Aryan mentioned in the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Klaibyam asmagamash naitatvai upapadyate shudram hridaya dharbalyam tikto vishta parantapa. Hridaya dharbalya means miserly weakness. O son of Pritha, do not yield to this disregarding impotence. It does not become you. Give up such pretty weakness of the heart and arise, O chastiser of enemies. So Krishna is saying that don't be like this. Okay, this is just a weakness of heart. You're saying that you can't fight. So this is kripana. Okay, hridaya dharbalyam. So Arjuna might argue that he would give up the battle on the grounds of his magnanimous attitude of the most respectable Bhishma and his relatives. But Krishna considered that as a weakness of heart. So you should not be compassionate like this. And Duryodhana was so confident that Bhishma and Dronacharya will be on his side because of financial assistance, because Bhishma and Drona was depending on Duryodhana's father, Dhritarashtra, for their financial aids. And as a government servant should follow the rules of the government, they were just obedient. What is the reason given in the first chapter why Duryodhana was so confident that Bhishmadharya and Dronacharya will support him? First chapter. Does anyone remember the two reasons? You should be very specific. Yes, Supriya Mataji.
Mataji, one reason is that because at the time of Draupadi's thing, they were very quiet. So yes, that gave him a confidence that at any stage, these two will never leave my side. And next one? That's a very nice answer. Yes. And immediately after that, Prabhupada gives one more answer. Yes, Priyadarshini Mataji.
They were dependent for finances on the Kauravas.
Yeah, that is given here. The first chapter mentions one more reason, Mataji.
They have to be loyal to the side they are residing with. So they have to be loyal to the Kurus.
Yes, so Sachinandan Prabhu got it right. Yes, one more reason is there. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They were silent during the gambling match.
Very good. Gambling match. Okay. So these two reasons are given in the first chapter, 11th sloka, I think. So you should be very specific. When Bhakti Shastri questions are asked, close book questions, you can write just bullet points. Draupadi is insulting and assembly, and then gambling match. You got all 10 marks. But then if we beat around the bush, just say that this and write one page, even though then we won't get marks. So Bhakti Shastri is little strict on how you answer the questions. It should be just very clear. We'll be given key points to check your answers. So the answer sheet, the key points will contain these two things. Like the student has to write the Draupadi getting insulted in the assembly, and they have to write about gambling match. If you don't write, then there's no marks to be given. But if you write it, you get full marks. So that's what Bhakti Shastri is very specific about answering. So you should, if they ask two questions, two answers, two reasons, you have to specifically mention given in the first chapter. So yes, that's gambling match and the Draupadi getting insulted. So, and also now, as Mataji said, yes, financial dependence is there. That is given in this third, in the second chapter. Okay, the financial assistance. Yes, Supriya Mataji.
Mataji, I just mentioned about the Draupadi's incidents.
Yeah, okay. Any doubts till now?
Mataji, another point that they were the army chief of the army, so he was confident that he will be he may be on the side of adharma, but he will be always in it.
Yes. So so that's what, as they know that they are going to be loyal to them, and yes, they are the army chief. And we saw how Duryodhana was a diplomat using the word Drupada Putrena, Drishtadyumna's word, and all it's been used, and he's a complete politician in that way, right? Yes, Mataji.
In the transplantation example you gave us, you told about the soul residing between the eyebrows and then shifting back to the heart after transplantation. What about Paramatma, the super soul, Mataji?
Yes, the super soul. moves along with the soul. See, wherever the soul goes, the super soul moves. That's what Krishna is so merciful, that even if the soul goes into a worm in the stool, in the sense, because of our bad karma, we become a worm in the stool. Even in that worm, along with the soul, there is super soul. So wherever the soul goes, the super soul goes, Mataji, along with it. We have learned in Bhagavad Gita, the soul and super soul are like two birds sitting in the
branch of a tree.
Branch. So it's like always together. They are always together. Wherever we go, whatever negative things we do, the Paramatma never leaves you. So that's why how merciful Krishna is, that 84 lakh janmas he has come with us, and wherever we go, Krishna is accompanying, and we're not turning to him. But because of Krishna consciousness, we are just trying to turn and towards Krishna and reciprocate, right? So yes, Krishna is accompanies wherever the soul goes.
So together with the soul, it goes between the eyebrows, is it?
Yes,
between the eyebrows. Yeah.
Yes, it goes.
Thank you, Madam.
Place. It is given in, if you want to read more, you can go to Science of Self-Realization book by Srila Prabhupada, that is Atma Gaveshan. And in that, there is a conversation between Prabhupada and a cardiac surgeon. So in that chapter, Prabhupada is completely mentioned about the transplant. It's a very nice book to read. Okay. So now we reached here. Na chaitat vitma kataran go no gariyo yatva jaye mayadiva no jayeyu yan eva hatva na jiji vishamas te avastita pramukhe dharta rashtra. Now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? If we kill the sons of the Rashtra, we should not care to live. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. Now, which of the 5 lamentations can you see here in this sloka? Arjuna had 5 reasons to lament. Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So which Vishada can you see here? Or yes, Charu Mataji. Hare Krishna. Which one can you see? You can't unmute. Sudha Mataji.
Mataji, he was very confused whether he should fight or whether he.
Yeah, what is that? What is that lamentation called as?
That is.
The 5 reasons. In that, I want that specific word.
Indecision.
Very good. Indecision. Indecision. He's not able to decide whether to be conquered. So the given is indecision. The 5 factors are there. Yeah, indecision. Not no enjoyment. Sri Devi Mataji and Shreya Mataji getting confused. No enjoyment is when Krishna says that, I mean, Arjuna says that, how can I enjoy without, even if I win, how can I enjoy without my cousins and relatives, right? I mean, what benefit do I get by killing all them? Or how do I be happy by killing them? So here he is asking why it's indecision, because he's asking, should I get conquered by them or should I conquer them? So this is indecision, right? Here you can see Arjuna is asking, which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? Should I fight or should I not fight? This is kind of a clear indecision here happening. Okay, 2.6 is indecision. So now Arjuna surrenders to Krishna. So this is a great lesson to learn for all of us, that when we have some problems in material life or spiritual life, we surrender to our gurus or a spiritual master or Krishna. Definitely we have to, because otherwise we are completely lost. And here, this is a sloka to memorize, little difficult to memorize, but then if you try, you can definitely learn. Karpanya dosho apadha swabhava prichami tvam dharma sammoda cheda yashreyasya nishchitam bruhi tanme shishyaste shadi mam tvam prapannam. Karpanya dosho apadha swabhava. In the sense, a lot of doshas have come in my mind, Krishna. It's been full of many doshas or many doubts and everything have come and been covered. And tvam dharma sammoda. Dharma sammoda means I'm confused about my dharma. What should I do? Whether to fight or not. Yes, Shreyasya Nishchitam Bruhitanme. What is the Shreyas? In the sense, what is the best for me? What should I do? Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapan. I become your Shishya or a disciple. Okay, so this is Arjuna's situation where Arjuna is surrendering to Krishna in the 2.7 chapter. Now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of my silly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me, Shreyas. Now I'm your disciple, Shishya, and a soul surrendered to you. Please instruct me. Now Arjuna is getting surrendered to Krishna. What change in bhav can you see in this particular sloka? I mean, is there any change in the bhav of the rasas? We have different rasas with Krishna. So Arjuna is getting yes, Prakash Parekh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. until now, Arjuna was the Sakha or a friend of Krishna.
Yes.
Now on going to accept the discipleship of Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna becomes the spiritual master from now onwards.
So that means from Sakya Ras, it's shifting to?
Guru.
The 5 rasas we have. Sakya, that is Shanta, Sakya, Dasya, Valsalya, Madhurya. So from Sakya, it is shifting to? What is he becoming now?
He is becoming a Dasa.
Yeah, Dasya, very good. So from Sakya, it's becoming a Dasya Ras. But does this happen in Vrindavan? Inside Vrindavan? Even if in Krishna left the Govardhan Hill, even he dance on top of Kaliya. I mean, what will the cowherd boys say? They say that, Tumi kaun bada log, tumi omi shom. I mean, it's Chaitanya Charitamrita explains that when Krishna does all these wonderful activities, they say, who are you? You're not a great person. Me and you are same. I mean, the Sakas, because too much of pure Sakyaras is there, Shuddha Sakyaras. And here Arjuna is getting covered and he becomes the Dasya form. Yes, friend to Dasya, right? And so initially he was like, take my chariot in the middle of the armies and place it. So it's like ordering Krishna and like a friend, And now he's become his Shishya, he's become a Dasya form of the servant attitude, right? You can see here. Even when he sees the universal form, this is what happens. So Dhamma Samuda means he's confused about his duty, right? So what does the word dharma means? There's a lot of confusion. What is dharma, or can you give, what is the dharma of a human being, or what is actually dharma? Sudha Mataji?
Dharma means religion, Mataji. Our duty is like what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, so what is the dharma of a human being?
To be a servitor of the Lord, we have to be an eternal servant of the Lord.
Yes.
And we have to serve him.
Yes. So Dharman to Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Dharma is the rules and regulations or the constitutional position, which is all made by the Lord. And our dharma is to do Savai Pumsa Paro Dharma Yado Bhaktir Atokshite, to do devotional service to the Lord. And the dharma of a chili is to be spicy. The dharma of a sugar is to be sweet. Okay. So if the sugar is not sweet, then it's not sugar. That means that's the dharma of the sugar. So similarly, if a human being is not religious or not being a constitutional position, being the servant of the Lord, das, then we are not showing our dharma. Yes, Sri Devi Mataji?
Yeah, I just wanted to answer that question. I will lower the hand.
Yeah. Yes, Dinesh Prabhu?
Mataji, righteous conduct in a specific set of circumstances is the dharma.
Yes. So what are we supposed to do? What are we not supposed to do?
Exactly.
That's our dharma. Yes. And adharma on the other side. Yes, Prabhu.
Dharma is not religion. It is righteous conduct in a specific set of circumstances.
Yes. So what is right or wrong, and what is given in the scriptures? We go according to the scriptures. Yes. Yes, Prabhu. And what is, yes, Mataji. Okay, so Dharma Samuda, he's been confused about his duty. He's a Kshatriya, he's supposed to fight now, right? And Shishyaste Ham Shadimam Tam Brahmana means I'm your disciple. So we'll have a quick breakout room discussion. Just remember, there are 2 parts for this question. Last batches didn't do the 2-part question. So it's actually a 2-part question. And the first part is from Sloka 2.7 and 2.8. You have to give the principles of selecting a guru. What are the things you look for when you select a guru? So most of you are not initiated. So, you know, what are you supposed to look for a guru? So that's the first part of the question. How do you select a guru? Second part is your personal application. How relevant is these principles on your practice of Krishna consciousness? Right? These principles, there are so many principles given in 2.7, 2.8 per part, Srila Prabhupada. So from different books like Chaitanya Charitamrita and all. So take those aspects and then discuss how these principles are going to help in your practice of Krishna consciousness. That's called personal application. So this is like an open book question. There are 2 parts sometimes, preaching application and personal. Here it's personal application. So I want you to select some points. How do you select a guru, and how is that helping you to practice Krishna consciousness? Are you already initiated? Then how did it help you to select a guru? Okay, so I hope the question is clear for all of us. We'll just have a quick breakout room. Go to the breakout room, read the purport, find those principles, what Prabhupada have mentioned, how you select a guru, and how are you going to apply it in your personal life. So we'll give you 10 minutes time. Hare Krishna. Hi Krishna. Okay, so Sridevi Mataji, the form is invalid. The attendance form, this Mataji is not able to fill. Everybody could fill, no?
Yeah, I was able to fill it.
Yeah. What about others?
Yes, Mataji, I could fill.
Yes, Mataji,
I could also fill, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, we could fill.
I could feel as well,
We could
Mataji.
fill, no problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Pujavrinda Devi Dasi Mataji, might be something wrong with your email ID, or you have to. Why
Yes,
you are not
yes.
able? You try
Yeah,
once.
actually, I'll check it up properly. Every time it is happening 2-3 times also. So
Everyone could do. I think you already submitted, might be. That's why.
I am also not able to fill, Mataji.
How come
Mataji,
others are able to do?
Mataji, they have to first refresh it and then they can fill it out.
Oh, refresh it. Okay, try to refresh and do. Okay, so last batch needed more time for discussion. That's why I gave more time. Let's have a discussion from room number 4. Kishore Kumar Prabhu, Aravind Gyani Prabhu. What did you discuss? What are the points of selecting the Guru, and then how do you personally apply it? Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, Mataji, that point what we discussed is, first is that disciplic succession. The Guru should come through the disciplic succession.
Yes.
Then he should be a bona fide spiritual master.
Very good.
Then he has to be a Vaishnava. Then that caste and creed that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said, Kiva Vipro, Kiva Nasi, Shudra Kene Noy.
Yes.
Jai Krishna Tattva Vetta, Shai Guru Hoy.
Yes.
We can select the Guru not as per their caste and religion. He has to be a Vaishnava and a spiritual master, so I can select him as a Guru.
So how do you apply it in your spiritual personal life?
Now it comes to me. For me, actually it was a common rule, but for me, I personally feel now I am joined in ISKCON. Not joined means I am doing the course in the ISKCON. Then I am preparing myself to get initiation. But every time it comes in my mind that Srila Prabhupada is physically not present with us. Now, if I go for initiation, who is the next successor of Srila Prabhupada? I do not know. Then, in that way, though I have filled that form, and the basic requirements what ISKCON has set up, that I have fulfilled, and some changes have started coming in my mind, in my physical appearance, body, mind, thought.
Yes.
This all. Now I am confused. So who will be my Guru? Is it in that way I am in doubt, Mataji. So that is the personal application.
Yeah, that will come. That will come when we are serious. Definitely will come. Okay, room number 3, Sachinandan Prabhu, Deval Mataji, Sudha Mataji, Supriya Mataji. Any other extra points apart from these, which Prabhu said, the principles of selecting a Guru? Did you find any other point?
Mataji, we also discussed on a person who gives the proper guidance to the life, explaining us the purpose of the life by not making us involved in all the prajalpas and talking anything which is material. And if at all we are getting deviated, direct us back to the purpose of the life. That is a thing. And I think Deval Mataji can add more because we discussed that point.
Yeah, so we had discussed that.
Oh, can you unmute? Deval Mataji.
Yes, so the points we discussed were like the spiritual master has to be 100% Krishna conscious, first of all, from the disciplic succession, and he has to be expert in the master of science. I mean, he has to be the master of science of Krishna consciousness, regardless of his birth, whether he's from a low birth, whether he's a Vedic scholar, whether he is renounced. And also, yeah, the senses are controlled. His senses has to be controlled, and he has to be a Vaishnava. To be a spiritual guru, he has to be a Vaishnava, not just a Brahmin with Vedic knowledge and all, but he has to be a disciple of Krishna.
Yes. Okay. So coming in the parampara, right? Parampara. Yeah. So any other points?
Yeah, Sachin Prabhu can explain because he is also an initiated devotee, so his application would be much.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Krishna Mataji. Also, he should have firm faith in Lord Krishna and
Very
also
good.
his guru, own guru also.
Yes.
Yeah, and he should be same in the disciplic succession, and he should know the science of Krishna consciousness.
Yes.
And sense should be good. Yes. Hare
Teaching
Krishna.
by the example. Yeah, that's what Prabhuji had pointed out one point. Yeah.
Okay.
He should be preaching and
Yeah,
teaching.
teaching by his own example.
Yes.
Yeah, like
So,
Srila Prabhupada, being an
yes.
acharya, he taught by his own example.
And not only preaching, but in practice what he preached. Yes. So room number 2, yes, Prakash Parak Prabhu, I'll come Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We
Yes.
thought, Guru, there are many gurus, but we are talking about spiritual guru, spiritual master. 3 important points we felt. Number 1, he should be of a disciplic succession. Number 2, he must know the scripture very well, and he should be practicing the scripture. And number 3, he should be able to argue and convince the disciples of the spiritual scripture.
Okay. Yes. So very nice. So in room number 1, is there any other point to be added? Rekha Mataji, Shreya Mataji, Sridev Mataji, Dinesh Prabhu, Puja Mataji.
Mataji, he should be able to provide proper guidance.
Yes.
Solving the problems and perplexities of day-to-day life also.
Yes.
So that means he should be knowing he should be all-knowing, not only Vedic scriptures, but he should be knowing the root causes of kleshas in material life, so that he is able to solve them. And so far as application is concerned, so far personally I'm concerned, I need a lot of guidance. I am terribly involved in material affairs, and in fact, sometimes I'm lost. I do not know what to do, how to proceed in devotional service. So the spiritual master, being an Uttamadhikari, should be able to guide me properly in the right direction.
Yes.
This is what I feel.
So these are the principles, and then how do we apply it in our life? Yes, that's a personal application level. Okay, so you should have 2 parts to the question, and this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said this to Ramananda. Kiba vipra kibanya si shutrikeni naya. Ye Krishna Tattvete say Guru Haya. It doesn't matter whether it's a person is a Vipra or a Brahmana, Nyasi or a Sannyasi, Shudra, or lawborn, or he's in a renounced order of life. If he is a master in the science of Krishna, Ye Krishna Tattvete say Guru Haya. He's a perfect and bona fide spiritual master. So it doesn't matter where our Guru is coming from. A Guru might have a foreign body or whatever it is. The body doesn't matter, and Guru is one. No, you should not be confused. The tattva is one because the message is one. So definitely, and one who does not use this human form of life to get a guru and go to Krishna is a kripana. Kripana means miser, who have a lot of money, but he's not using it for the proper thing. So wasting their money and overly affectionate for the family, society, countries, and etc. in the material conception of life. And a brahmana is the opposite of it, who's intelligent enough to utilize the body to solve the problems of life. Put in the chat, what are the main problems in our life? So Kripana means one who does not properly use his position. Like you have a human form of life and you're not using it in a proper way to get self-realization. That's a Kripana. So here Arjuna is a Kshatriya, but he's not using it to fight. So here it says Arjuna is a powerful and he can fight. He's a Kshatriya, but he is denying his ability to fight. Yes. So the real problems of a life is birth, death, old age, disease, right? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Dosha, and Darshanam. So these 4 problems have to be solved by using this human form of life. And if you don't use it, they are a Kripana. So Arjuna is also a Kripana here called because he being a Kshatriya is not using his ability to fight. Therefore, he's thinking that I have become a Kripana or Maisa. Although I have got strength, I'm denying to fight. Although I got money, I do not spend. That's how a Kripana is. Tam uvaja Rishikesha prahasan iva bharata senayoraveyor madhye vishitantam dam vaja, O descendant of Bharata. At that time, Krishna, smiling in the midst of both the armies, spoke the following words to the grief-stricken Arjuna. Why did Krishna smile? It looks very simple, but then there are 3 or 4 reasons with Acharya say, why did Krishna smile? Yes, Priyadarshini Mataji. What could be the reason?
He agreed to become his disciple from the friend status.
Very nice. So Krishna, so Krishna agreed to be a spiritual master, and yes, from the status. Yes, Kishore Kumar Prabhu.
everything is working according to my plan.
Yeah, everything is working according to Krishna's plan. Yes, that is true. And what about Dinesh Prabhu? So Krishna is like, oh, everything is planning. It's going according to my plan. And he smiled.
He's smiling because he is a Kshatri and he was behaving like a coward man. Now, after listening to Krishna, he is able to realize his potential and again come back to fighting.
Yes, so that means Arjuna's Krishna is like, Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and then now what happened? And then now he's coming up, and then that change that also made like such a silly person. What is happening to him? So that also made Krishna smile. Yes, Charu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I was thinking now it's the right time to tell about Bhagavad Gita. Now
very good. Yeah, it's time to speak Bhagavad Gita. Very good. Yes, now Krishna is smiling. Everything is going according to Krishna's plan, and now I can speak Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna smiled. Yes, very good. Yes, what is the other point, Kishore Kumar Prabhu?
Now both were friends earlier. Now they have become disciple and guru.
Yes. Yes, so that Mataji already told, Priyadarshini Mataji told, yes. So now what happened? Arjuna from Sakhyaras fell to Dasya Bhav. That also made Krishna smile. Arey, he was my friend. Now he's, just imagine you have your childhood friends and you're like very nice, close relationship. He don't even call you the name. He calls you the nickname and all. But once he come to know that you are like, the superintendent of police or something, you are a high court judge or something. And suddenly his bhav change. Oh, you're such a big person. And then he becomes like, he calls your real name and he started showing respect. And you'll be like, what is wrong with him? He's my childhood friend, and then just that my position, and now he's like completely changed. You will have a sarcastic smile. So in that way Krishna smiled. Oh, he's Sakya, now he became Dasya of mine. So Krishna smiled. So second is, yes, everything was going according to Krishna's plan. Krishna planned this, that Arjuna, the Yoga Maya should cover and Arjuna should lament. And third, he was ready to speak Bhagavad Gita, because it's not only for Arjuna, it's for the whole world. Krishna is going to speak Bhagavad Gita. Before that he smiled. And the fourth reason is that he was thinking, how can a Kshatriya have all these silly reasons not to fight? Like Arjuna's dharma is not being. So in that way also, like how silly Arjuna is behaving. So in that way Krishna smiled. So even Krishna smiled when Kunti Maharani was offering her prayers in Kunti Stuti, that please don't leave us, Krishna. We like to see you again and again. Let miseries keep coming on me. Let Bhima get poisoned by a cake, and then let my daughter-in-law Draupadi get insulted. Let all my sons be sent to the forest, or let the house be burnt to fire, put to fire. Let the miseries keep coming. Vipata Shandata Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavada Darshanam Yatsat Apunar Bhavadarshanam. Let all miseries keep coming to me, but then I'm able to get your darshan. I'm able to see your beautiful form, and that's what is important. That's what Kunti Maharani prays to Krishna. So even then, after hearing all that stuti, Krishna smiles. Krishna doesn't say anything, he smiles. So there's a lot of things when we know, like that's how Krishna reciprocates for the first time. Some Matajis used to say, when they see the picture of Krishna, the deity form, like he's smiling to you. So he's reciprocating. Krishna is reciprocating. Therefore, he is thinking that I have become a Kripana. So Arjuna is thinking that he has become a Kripana because he is denying to fight. Although he got strength, he's denying to fight. Although a miser have money, he's not using it. Okay, we finished that. The last sloka for today, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochan Anvashochastvam Pratyavatamscha Bhashase Gadasum Agadasumcha Nanashochanti Panditaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you're mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those are wise, lament neither for the living nor for the dead. Why? Why we should not lament for the dead? We know. We are not this body, we are spirit, soul. So what about we should not lament for the living, somebody who's living, and we should not lament. That's what Krishna says. Yes, Prabhu.
Because the individual is not the material body, it's the soul, divine spark, a part and parcel of God, and for whom if there is part and parcel of God, then there is nothing to lament about, because the body is bound to undergo changes and ultimately finish off.
So somebody is living and who's having some problems, sufferings, then we need not lament. That's what Krishna means here. And as Prabhu said, yes, we're not this body, we're spirit, soul, and we understand that. But if you are living and you have some problems in life, and some are having cancer, or some get amputated the legs because of diabetes and all that, ulcer, and then so many things are happening when we are living. It's all because of our past karma, right? And Krishna even says, Matra sparshasta kaudeya shitoshna sukhadukkada agamapaino anityastamsti dakshasa bharada. So happiness and distress keep coming and going. It's all very temporary, and it's because of the karma. So even for somebody who's living, we need not lament, because it's all temporary. But then what happened to Arjuna when reactions of sinful action? What happened to Arjuna when Abhimanyu died? After hearing the whole Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna, being an eternal associate of the Lord, cried when his son died. So how do you explain that? If Arjuna is such a wise person and he knows everything in Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Mataji?
It doesn't mean that, Mataji, we're in spirituality that we have to lose our emotions.
Yes.
Emotions will be there, but you have to win over the emotions with God's grace.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that we are stone-hearted and we, as Mataji said, no emotions and all. No, right? So that's not our real our real position, right? So yes, even when Arjuna lamented when his son died, there was some kind of an emotion, and Krishna is like, that's natural. That's natural. That means he's affectionate, not attached. He was not attached. Attachment and affection is two different things. So if you don't cry, definitely that is something wrong with you. So it doesn't mean, oh, he's spirit soul and he doesn't cry. Yes, there will be like that sentiments and affection will be there, as Mataji said. Yes, we should not be like so stone-hearted. A devotee, if he becomes stone-hearted, then how will you feel compassion for the materialistic people who are suffering in this world, to deliver them from all these material concepts of life? So Prabhupada is so compassionate, even to an ant or insect or small children, everyone he was so affectionate. Arjuna argued religious principles should be given more importance than politics and sociology, but did not know that knowledge of matter and soul and supreme, and even more important than religious popularity. So knowledge of matter and soul, that is very important. Paravidya, aparavidya, to know who's matter, who's soul, who's the supreme. That's the real knowledge. So Chanakya Pandit says that you can chastise your son and disciple. You can find their mistakes. Don't be angry at them. But it's the business of the teacher or father to find out the mistakes. Why? So that they can correct them. It's for the good things, good. But if you find the good things in them and appreciate, then they might become puffed up. So it's natural for a spiritual master or a father to find mistakes. So never recognize the disciple's business or son's business as good. Then they will get spoiled. So here Arjuna is having so many good qualities, but Krishna is pointing out his mistake of miserly weakness of the heart, so that he can make him correct or improve him. So far we are concerned, when our spiritual master used to chastise, we should take it as a blessing. When Prabhupada scolds someone, everybody says, Prabhupada scolded you? Good. They were like, he uses the word rascal, foolish, stupid and all that. So actually that is for our good. Okay. So here Krishna is trying to correct Arjuna. Now we'll see from next week how Krishna is advising the dehinosmini adadehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tadadehangara prapti tirastatra namukhyadi, how the spirit soul gets transferred or transmigrated to another body at the time of death. And all the details of the soul part will be dealt in the next class. Today was just an introduction, how Krishna is slowly taking Arjuna to the aspect of soul part, and how Krishna, like a good spiritual master, was listening to his disciple, and now he'll start speaking. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Any doubts and clarification? We'll just finish it for today. Yes. Yes, Charu Mataji, that's a question.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam. Mataji, I always have this doubt with regards to this subtle body and the gross body. What will happen when it gets liberated? Like, say, if the soul goes to the Goloka, the subtle, I know gross body will go after this when the body is dead, but subtle body I'm not able to understand. Yeah,
subtle body also goes with the soul, the mind, intelligence and false ego. It is said that it will go with the soul to the next body. Okay.
If it gets liberated, like if it goes to Goloka, also subtle body will be there, Mataji.
Yes, see, subtle body and gross body aspect is in the material world. There, your spirit soul, the spirit soul is not having any of these conditions. It is like Satchidananda form, the eternal form, right? Mind, intelligence, false ego is all here. There is no false ego, no, in the spiritual world. It's real ego. What is the real ego, you know?
We are the servant of Krishna.
Yeah. So the real ego is Gopi Bhaktur Pada Kamala Dasa Dasana Das, or we are servant of Krishna. So that's the real ego. Okay.
One more, sorry, Mataji. So how did then originally the soul fall down if there is no false ego in the Goloka?
Yeah.
Mataji?
So we have something called minute independence. Now, if you tie a cow on a tree, the cow can go up to where the rope is there. No, it can walk around. Right? That means it has a minute independence. So we all had a minute independence. We misused it. We wanted to enjoy without Krishna, and we wanted to be independent. So little false ego, little independence was there. It's not a false ego as such, but then some kind of calamities, destructions came in our mind, or somewhere we wanted to be independent, or we want to be selfish, and we wanted to enjoy life. So Krishna created this material world. Now, how does this prison house come? Jail came. The criminals forced the government to make a jail. Otherwise, there won't be jail here, right? So the criminals forced. Similarly, we forced Krishna to make this material world, and we had a minute independence, Mataji, and we misused it. Not everyone are in this material. Many are in the spiritual world still, but we are here because we misused as minute independence. And once we realize it, we try to correct it, we can go back. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Arvind Prabhu, you joined today for the first time, right?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So you don't worry, the first chapter will be covered next week. Okay, there are some devotees who joined for the first time in yesterday's batch also. So I'll post a link and the day where you can join, and the first chapter will be covered. Okay, for you.
Okay.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so what is the next question? Yes, Dinesh Prabhu.
It was, my question is answered, Mataji. In fact, I've also joined for the first time today. I missed first chapter.
Oh, you're on the first day. First time. Yeah, first chapter will be covered next week. Okay, next week I'll post it. I'll plan which day to be covered. There are some 10 devotees who need to redo the chapter 1. Okay. Yes, Shreya Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I heard that from some of my friends, they were having ceremonies for aspiring and shelter. Do we have such ceremonies where we offer flowers to Guru Maharaj?
Yeah, actually Guru Maharaj might come in person. That's what Damanishta Prabhu is trying to, rather than online, can have a direct this thing. So darshan. So, but then he's a little busy. So before that, did you fill the form?
Yes, Mataji.
You filled and you already submitted. So don't worry, we'll let you know through email or WhatsApp. We'll let you know when the ceremony will happen. So the forms have been already sent to Guru Maharaj's office. Okay.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Neeraja Mataji. I hope all of you have filled the attendance form, and after the second chapter, we'll have an open book assessment. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, the size of the spirit soul is also super soul also is the same as spirit soul.
Super soul, we can't even imagine. He's unlimited, right? Krishna is unlimited. He can become smaller than the smallest, larger than the largest, right? So there is no particular size of Paramatma, we can't say. But because he has to accompany the soul, he takes that size. 1 by 10,000, the tip of the hair, like the soul. But then Paramatma is, see, you can see how Varaha came from the nostrils of Brahma. He was so small. Then he became so huge. Then Vamanadeva was a dwarf. Then he became so big, no, Mataji? So for a Paramatma, we can actually say the size. I don't think anywhere it's mentioned because he's unlimited. We can't even measure him. He's unlimited, but he can be in different sizes. Anoraniya Mahatoma. He can be in smaller than the smallest, larger than the largest, based on the different situations and things. But then since he had to accompany the atom, he becomes smaller than the atom. Okay.
Okay,
the size of the soul is mentioned. Yes. Priyadashini Mataji, Hare Krishna. Yes, where are you? You can unmute.
Mataji, yeah. Now the little independence God has given us, you said about that. But yes, I think once we go to Goloka Vrindavana, it doesn't apply, no Mataji. Does it apply? Do we have rebirth again?
No, actually, Yatgatvan and Nivartante Tadhamam Paramama. Those who go back never will come down. And only if you're completely pure can you go back. So once you go, you'll never come back. But in case of Jaya Vijaya, they were doorkeepers in Vaikunta and they came down. So there are, for Krishna's pastime, anything can happen. Krishna wanted to fight with Hiranyakashipu. So he made his own devotees, Jaya Vijaya, being cursed. Everything is Krishna's plan. So if Krishna wants, you can come. What about Prabhupada and all the acharyas? Why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu come? Why did Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they are manjaris? So that's because they want to deliver the fallen conditioned soul. So like that, acharyas can come based on Krishna's advice. So in that way, but then it is said you'll never fall down again, because once we have already committed a mistake. Once a cat fall in hot water, it will never fall in. Once it see the hot water, it runs. It said that no, you don't commit the mistake again. So normally it won't happen. Because that's why we're getting purified, so that we go back to Krishna's world. But then other souls can do mistake and come back, no, Mataji?
But still some chances are there of falling, Mataji.
That
Still
is for
small
Sayuja
chances.
Mukti. That is those who get Sayuja Mukti, like a Mayavadi who merge into the Brahman effulgence. They can come down.
Yeah, they'll come down. Yeah, they'll come down. But in
But
the
others,
Goloka,
normally Goloka, because you're so pure only, you can go to Goloka. And once you go, it is said, Yat Katwara Nevartande, once you go, you'll never come back unless these situations like Krishna want you to come, or you want to come for preaching and all. Otherwise, normally the chances like 0% falling down, because only those who are completely pure can go, and that means you'll never fall down. That's why only pure devotees can enter Golok Vrindavan. Right?
probably we will not misuse our independence there.
That's what we want, because once we have already done it, and there's no chance.
Learned the hard way through. Yeah, we have learned the hard way through. So probably we will not do it again.
So Charu Mataji, for next week you study 2.7. Okay, 1.1 sloka from the first chapter is 1.1 sloka, and 2.7 Karpanya Dosha. That's for next week. You study that if possible. Yes, Deval Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. I just wanted to ask you, so in Srimad Bhagavatam, in one of the chapters, it's mentioned the size of the super soul as the size of the thumb, or the 8 inches, 8.5 or 9 inches. So
Yeah, that is when the thing happened where Uttara, that is Krishna's son Abhimanyu's wife, no, Uttara. When Uttara was pregnant with Parikshit Maharaj, this one Ashwathama was about to send Brahmastra, and that time Uttara ran to Krishna and said to him to please save my son. And that time Krishna became the size of a thumb and entered Uttara's womb to save Parikshit Maharaj. So that is the size given. That's in a specific instant. That's a specific pastime he became that size. But in different pastime, Krishna can take different sizes, Mataji. Because the Ashta Siddhis are there, like you become lighter than the lightest, heavier than the heaviest, smaller than the smallest, Anima, Legima, Mahima, all these Siddhis are there already in Krishna. So Krishna can become anything, anytime, anywhere you want. But as you mentioned, very nice example, that's the instant where he entered Uttara's womb to protect Parikshit Maharaj, becoming the size of a thumb.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sri Devi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
just now you told like if we are very pure, then only we can go to Goloka Vrindavan. So we are, even if we are chanting 16 rounds, we have I have so many faults in myself. So like how to purify.
So we are in Anartha Nivritti stage, Mataji. Like in the sense we have all this Kama, Krodha, Lopa, Moha, Mada, Balsari, and all of us, right? All of us have. So at different quantities. So we are getting it cleansed. So that's why going to Golok Vrindavan is very tough, according to Krishna's standard. But when there is another shortcut. You can go through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you chant the Panchatattva mantra, if you, Prabhupada himself have promised, if you chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 regulative principle, he personally will take you to back to Godhead. So you trust the Acharya, trust the process will work. This is just, we have wasted so many janmas, Mataji. This janma, we just started Krishna consciousness. So can't we wait some more janmas to go back to Krishna? So it's like we don't have patience. That's the thing. But then Rupa Goswami says, Ulsaha Nishya Dhairya. We should have a lot of patience in devotional life. Not like in one day we become so pure. We have a lot of anarthas, all of us. But then as we associate with Krishna through his holy name and do devotional service and have that sincere desire to go back, definitely it will work. Might be not in this janma, but that is, we don't know. Only Krishna knows when we are going to go back. So we try, we put our endeavor, then next is Krishna's mercy. So we do our best. So Anartha Nivarti is that stage where all the anarthas are getting washed away, Mataji, but then we should have a lot of patience. It'll happen. So many janmas, we have gone through so many type of bodies and know so many sinful activities. We don't even know what we have done, right? So no, Dinesh Prabhu. See, soul doesn't have an age at all. The body might age, but then soul doesn't have an age. It's eternal. So it doesn't matter what time you start, it doesn't matter. So because see, what happens when you chant Hare Krishna, and most of them, I think 90% of them have come to Krishna consciousness at the age of 50 or 50 plus and all. So now what will happen? They're not able to complete Krishna consciousness. Definitely after the soul transmigrates to new body, definitely they're going to be born in a Vaishnava family, Brahmin family, or a devotee family, or might be Shuchinam, Srimadam, Gehets. Definitely you'll start your Krishna consciousness and you can complete in that life. But we don't know. Krishna can take you back in this life itself. If you're so sincere and Krishna is moved by your devotional service, it's called Kripa Siddha. By his mercy, you can just go back. So it doesn't matter where we start and how we start. Because of some karma, we have some late starting, but it's never late anywhere, because we don't believe in this body aspect. So we should be happy that at least now we are in Krishna consciousness, and we should be serious. So once we know, oh, I already started late, then we become serious. So Prabhupada says, show how serious you are to Krishna. Then if Krishna is pleased, you don't want anyone's sanction. Krishna can take you back. So it doesn't matter where we start, how we start, but then it really matters how sincere we are. No, some says I'm 20 years in Krishna consciousness, 25 years, but it doesn't matter. So our sincerity is very important, and how we hear from Krishna. We give our ears to Krishna and then have sincere desire to go back, and Krishna will take us back. So yeah. Okay, but then all of you should take initiation. My request is all of you are chanting 16 rounds. Slowly try to take initiation, because we need a guru. Once you reach the lotus feet of a guru, then we can be like, 90% of the job is done. Then 10% we need to work hard for ourselves. But then definitely initiation is very important. Okay, all of you, I think this class have at least taken Aspire, Shelter, right? And waiting for initiation, someone. Oh, good, you are chanting more. Yes, Mataji, I can share the form to this
applied for Shelter, madam. Applied. I have applied,
Shelter,
but I don't know the status of whether.
When did you apply? This time,
long back.
Yeah. Form is just sent. Now you can prepare for initiation. You can wait.
I think January only I filled, Mataji. January I filled, I think.
January, if you have filled your initiation, for the Shelter form have already gone, so you can take initiation.
Mataji, about that the Paramatma form, that thumb size shape. What I had, as I know, in the heart, it is of that size, Mataji, the super soul.
Oh, in the heart, is there any reference for that?
Yeah, I have read somewhere, Mataji. In the heart only. But as you said, no, he's Anuraniyan.
Yeah.
That is there.
Yes. Okay, so I applied for
Shelter, Mataji.
Yeah, Dinesh Prabhu, if you want the form, I can share in the group. Sridevi Mataji, just remind me, I can share the Shelter and Aspire form.
Shall I fill once again, Mataji, Shelter form?
Are you no, you have taken in January now. Are you ready for initiation? Are you?
No, Shelter, Mataji, Shelter.
Shelter, you want to apply. You already applied, no? January.
I've applied. I don't know the status, Mataji. That's all.
Let me check. There's a list of those who have applied. Let me check and then you'll get back to you. And
please.
The others, Kishore Prabhu, you have already filled, no? And sent.
Last month I have filled, Mataji.
Yes.
I don't know whether it is received or not.
Yes, it's gone, and then we'll wait for 6 months to 1 year. Okay, let's wait for some more time. Is Prakash?
Okay. I have also applied for the initiation.
Your initiation application. Yes, it's been accepted. So we'll forward to Guru Maharaj's office, and then it's taking some time, Prabhu. There's some technical issues for it. It's already forwarded to Guru Maharaj's office. Next is all preparations to be done for the.
Mataji, initiation, Diksha, both are the same.
Mercy,
yeah, initiation and Diksha is the same.
Both the same, yeah. I don't know if I'm eligible for that, Mataji. Initiation.
Yeah, anybody who chants 16 rounds and follow regulative principles, including tea, coffee, and onion garlic, leaving that. And then you wait for 6 months to 1 year after Shelter. And then if you are, you should finish reading first Kannada of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's an eligibility again.
Okay, done, Mataji. That is done. Yeah.
Once a shelter is taken, Kumar Prabhu, you can wait for 6 months to 1 year to take in. Charu Mataji, what is that?
Hare Krishna Mataji, just one more clarification regarding the initiation. Actually, I have applied for shelter and in the waiting period, but clarification on initiation. Say if we are not in town, like outside, like if you are abroad, how does this? We can still apply for initiation. Maybe once I'm eligible. If you are not in town, like we are not in India, I won't be able to.
You can take online. Okay. And then when later on, when Guru Maharaj, where are you?
I'm in North Carolina, Mataji.
Okay. Guru Maharaj visits almost all part of the world. So just online, you can take the initiation, and then the beads you can take later. Many of them, and during Corona period, they did online initiation.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna, everyone. So please read through the purports, and if any doubts, we can discuss in the next class. Okay. So read the purports. That's very important. That's how you prepare for Bhakti Shastri. Okay, read the purports, because Prabhupada has given everything in his purports. Start having the habit of reading Prabhupada's books. Okay, I think can we end here? No questions. Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Pranam, Mataji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.